Celtic drew their latest blank last night with a woeful 2-0 loss to Braga in matchday 2 of the Europa League, and it's now the 5th time in 12 games this season that we've failed to score a goal. Paddy, is scoring goals the biggest problem right now, or is there a number of things going on the park that's causing concern here?
A number of things for me, Tino. Obviously there's been the issues with the first half have not been as clinical as what we've seen over the last few seasons, to be honest. But I think the cohesion last night and the performance just wasn't there all across the park. I think some moments of good play, some points where it kind of, we had to try and get back into the game, and I think it's been very reactionary all season from us, to be honest, and not enough proactiveness. But no, I think there seems to be a real sluggishness across the board. We look at the big man's distribution last night in Kasper Schmeichel. I don't know if that was nerves. I don't know if that was anger at what he was watching in front of him. But I don't know if that's a 38-year-old goalkeeper coming to end his career. Or
all of the above.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll get to Kasper in a moment because it's a big concern. But before we get to that, let's start at the top of the night in terms of the lineup. I've spoken in recent shows about the fact that I'm not sure Brendan Rodgers knows A, his strongest 11, and B, his strongest 16, because obviously we more often than not use all 5 subs, and I don't think he knows who he can hang his hat on at this moment in time. So what you're going to get is, we're struggling for consistency, and with each passing week where you make more changes and more tweaks to the lineup, that's not the way to get consistency, and we're just seeing various players putting in average performances.
We are, and listen, we can't forget Jota's out long term, Alistair Johnson's out. We haven't really bolstered on the right wing during the transfer window, so there are gaps in the squad at the moment, and I do feel that listening to your podcast not too long ago when you were speaking about there can still be a bit of an excitement with some of the players we've brought in. It does look like there can be a player in Tounekti and a little bit. He seems quite dynamic in the left-hand side. Maybe need to brush up in the end product. Colby Donovan, again, excitement around him. I know Rodgers was saying it was tactical last night, bringing him off. I'm not so sure about that, but I still think there is a little bit of hope through all of this. There is still a little bit of hope if you bring Alistair Johnson back in. You look at Sirachi looking pretty comfortable at left back, in my opinion. And also that will be good pressure for Kieran Tierney, who I think needs to up it a bit as well.
Yep.
He's on a comfortable enough wage, and I think as much as we're so happy to get a player of his quality back, he still needs to back himself up here. And I think, for me, there is still that little bit of hope, and we will turn a corner, we will click, but I am still concerned just about the lack of cohesion at the moment, and I get it, we're not at full strength. Even with those players back, we're still light in the squad from real quality,
Yeah, and I think whether you're KT or Callum McGregor or Daizen Maeda or anyone who's been there, done that for Celtic, which is great, you cannot just point back and say, look what I done last time out, or last year, or last week, or whatever. It's all about the here and now, and the real players prove themselves when the chips are down, and the chips are way down at this moment in time, and there's a real onus on these various experienced guys to do their job. And then the excitement comes in for guys like Iheanacho, Tounekti, Sirachi that you mentioned. I'm excited about Colby Donovan and what he might bring. And as fans, you're always looking to support new stars, new heroes, and see what that brings to the dynamic. And I'm excited about those players mentioned, but I feel that the malaise and the mood in the camp just now must be bringing them down. I admire Tounekti for what he brought to the party, or at least tried to bring to the party last night, but it must be weighing heavy on them. They've made the move. He's a young talented winger, made the move to Glasgow, and obviously thought this will be great. We win trophies. It's 60,000 cheering you on every week. It's not quite been that so far for him, and it must be having an impact on players new and old at Celtic.
Of course, and I think the impact on, just as you mentioned there, the older players that have been there. We've got players that are probably thinking that they should be gone, and it's no disrespect to what they've done for the club and what they've provided us over the last few seasons and the trophies that we have won. But we spoke not that long ago about the likes of Maeda, the likes of Hatate, and Cameron Carter-Vickers. It's like they were probably thinking that they would have been gone by now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're not bringing in the quality that would require them to say, all right, okay, another season here, another another push for us in Europe, it still doesn't excuse the performances, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still think you should be motivated to play even at this Europa League level as well.
I think these various players you mentioned there, CCVs, Hitatis, Maedas, Matt O'Reilly's, because this is what happened for him. I think they signed for Celtic thinking it's a 2 to 3 year thing.
Yeah.
They'll come here, they'll win trophies, they'll be adored during that time, they'll play Champions League football, their stock will rise, and they'll move on and they'll hit the big payday down in the Premier League or otherwise. It has happened for Matt O'Reilly and he's kicked on doing well with Marseille at this moment in time, but the others aren't. I think CV's worth a watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he looks very demotivated.
Is this interesting?
He doesn't look like he's at it. Daizen Maeda, the whole suggestion is he had literally cleared his locker at Lennoxtown. He was gone. His family, and we know he's got the young kids that are over here in Scotland with him. His family had their minds elsewhere. I think the suggestion was he was going to go to Germany, but whatever it was, he was gone in his head, if not physically. And then that gets pulled at the last minute. Yang, obviously less impactful than Daizen Maeda, but he's got a foot out the door and a head out the door. And you wonder who else. Hitati seems to be in that bracket as well. And who knows? So what you've got is, and this isn't me papering over the cracks of Brendan Rodgers' mistakes, and we're going to get to that absolutely here. But there are reasons why Celtic are struggling to get going just now, and there's no doubt about it. When you've got, we were chatting before we come on, you were talking about the fact that you can get away with 1 or 2 guys being off it. You can't get away with 3, 4, 5. And that's what we're seeing at this moment in time from Celtic.
Correct. It's whether they want to be there or not. The malaise you've mentioned in terms of the fans and the board as well, that's having an impact. Albeit the protest was called off last night, which was great to see. The fans are still unhappy. The stadium's not full last night. That's another factor on the team. And it's no offence to the fans that have decided not to take their tickets. I fully back that. I fully each to their own in this decision. This is for the board to really realise. And yeah, absolutely, we will speak about Rodgers. We will speak about the challenges he's probably facing at the moment as well to try and get a tune out of these players. But this solely for me relies on the board and where we are at as a club. And we're seeing it repeat after what happened with Neil Lennon in the COVID season. It's Groundhog Day again.
Are you seeing shades of the COVID season right now?
Massive, not in terms of the performances or anything like that, more in just terms of the management of the squad.
Okay, everyone, we're going to leave it there for now on this one. But if you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do that right now by joining us over on Patreon at patreon.com/Celtic Exchange. As a member, you'll get access to the rest of this episode, plus all of our additional shows, including pre- and post-match shows for every game, a range of extra episodes throughout the week, and loads more from the team here at Celtic Exchange. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up. And once you're in, you can continue watching the show on your device or directly on the brilliant Patreon app. So that's patreon.com/Celtic Exchange, or just click the link in the show notes. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you over on Patreon shortly.